So when you got out into the world of being an actress, and obviously I am an actor, quote unquote. So you start to discover early enough, hey, this is tough. How did you sort of psychologically, deal with that?
I took it to heart at the start, I have to say, because the rejection is mammoth, and you don't realise, like, the majority of things you're going for, you're not going to get. And it could be down to anything from a look, or what height you are, or what weight you are. And I really wasn't getting enough work, and I remember feeling really down at the time. I was in my early 20s, and I was looking at my friends, and they started to get their work, whatever it was, from science to just office jobs, whatever, and they were starting to work their way up, and I just kind of was plateauing, going, it's not happening, I don't know what to do. So at that stage, after doing a bit of theatre, which I really, really loved, I did a presenting course.
Okay.
And I suppose it opened up a totally different world to me, where I almost preferred being myself, I suppose,
So you found a sense of self through being yourself.
Yes.
And a freedom with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously I'm doing the presenting now, so
it's bizarre, isn't it?
Absolutely, I found a new niche. I'd be the new Jenny Buckley.
I love it. Just got a few little hair extensions there, Gary. You'll be
lose
gorgeous.
a bit of weight as well, possibly too. So what the presenting? What did you like connecting with people? Did you like finding people's stories?
That's it. Yeah, the connection, and just hearing their stories. And every day is so different, and you never know what you're going to hear. And it just brings the edge of your own life as well. And there's so many important stories that need to be told.
As your career progresses, right, you went from television presenting to, I know you had your own business, teaching drama as well.
Yes, I had. Well, I started off in Ballymun with my cousin. My cousin is an amazing dancer, and I am a trained drama teacher. So I thought, we'll join forces. The access, so we're talking years ago now, probably about 12 years ago, maybe 13, it had just opened. And it was a beautiful space. And I thought, why don't we just start there? So we had a really successful school, and I have to say, out of all the businesses I've ever had, that was my favourite. It was on a Saturday morning, and we were teaching kids who were so passionate. They just wanted to be there, and we did all these amazing shows, and the support from the community was unbelievable. The parents were so fantastic. They're behind us all the time. They were brilliant. Loved it. And then I thought, well, there's a space up in Howth. Why don't we open there? It could be the same, and it would be so easy for me as well, just up the corner from where I live, So we started there, and it was completely different.
How was it different?
People might like to hear this, but with the children I was teaching, they didn't have the same passion as those children in Ballymun. And maybe it was because some parents were actually forcing them or just pushing them into those classes because it suited, because the kids in Ballymun were actually going because they really wanted to be there. Sure. So it was a very different atmosphere, And I have to say, I didn't enjoy it as much. And I was still great, and there's still fantastic kids and everything.
I mean, you had a lot of people.
It was a great success. It was a great success. We even had Lottie Ryan came and was one of our dancers.
Sure.
It was a wonderful time. And then I had my first child, and things changed, and I thought, I can't dedicate my time to this. I'm very professional in everything I do, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I wasn't able to be there all the time. So I stood back with the thoughts of, I will open this again. It's still there. There's still maybe a thought in the background that I could one day, with a friend of mine, go back there. So you never know, but at that stage I had Jude, and I wanted to focus on her. And then I actually got a voiceover contract with Dunnes Stores. So
Dunnes Stores Better Value beats them all, as you say.
I tell you.
Yeah.
And that was great for about a year or so, just to keep me going on the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got the job, which I suppose a lot of people would know me from, is the voice of the Super Value checkout, the automated service. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're a machine as well.
I am a machine. Brilliant. There you go, the real life machine.
Yeah, I know quite a few voiceover artists who I've grew up with and so on. And I remember when I think telephone numbers in Dublin were getting an extra digit put on them.
Yeah.
A guy that I grew up with across the road, a guy called Conor Mullen.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, sure, I know Conor.
You know Conor, and he was telling me that the number I dialed had now changed. It's just very, very
It's
funny because
brilliant.
we grew up across the road from each other. What advice would you give to people how to market themselves or things? Would you have any words?
What I suppose I'd say is you just have to be as authentic as you can. And that's what's going to sell. And if you really, really believe in something, it will come to life and you'll be able to sell it and you'll be able to market it, you know? It's just that inner belief.
So is that an openness, do you think? Is that an openness?
Yes, it is.
Because very often for actors, and a lot of people watching this, they won't understand the thing about acting, but they will know about generally in life. Sometimes we have beliefs, limiting beliefs, where we kind of feel, well, I can't do that. I'm not going to be able to do that. Would you have any kind of...
But you won't know until you try, and then you could find while you're pursuing that, something else will come along and it's even better for you. So try it anyway, because you never know. And life is so short. Just give it everything, you know? You just don't know. I don't want to be in my 80s sitting back going, Jesus, I wish I'd done that. I'm raging I hadn't. I just think now, be in it and just pursue it, whatever it is.
So do you see yourself as a kind of product? Because I mean, I remember that was said to me years ago. Well, you've got to look at yourself as a product. Yeah. You're a product. You're selling yourself. You're a product. And I didn't really see it that way. I kind of thought, I'm an artist, not a product here.
I'm an artist.
But ultimately, you kind of are, because you're selling yourself and you are the thing. And then anyone who's really made it in the acting business, very often, the people know exactly how to sell themselves.
This is it. And I struggle with that massively, yes. And the main thing I would struggle with at the moment is social media.
Yeah.
Because I see how it works and I see how important it is for any business to have it, because it's what sells you. But then, are you selling yourself? You know, where is the privacy? And then the ego really takes over. I feel like it's a bit, look at me, I'm in this dress today, don't I look gorgeous? I need all these likes, come on, make me feel great about myself. But I know how it works and I know how important it is, so that's just the battle.
Do you use social media much for your own?
I really am great in it. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I would tweet at a very, very odd time. And I know it's a platform there that I could really elevate my career, but I just don't use it enough.
Social media, obviously, as a marketing tool, it can be a very useful tool, and people going on posting photographs of their trip abroad and all that kind of stuff, and it's quick hits and it's all very, very nice and everything. But there's a kind of darker side to it as well, isn't there? You mentioned stuff about likes, and people become obsessed with likes. What's going on with that? Why do people want likes, and what does it do for them?
I don't know. I just, if I'm being very honest with myself, I know if I post anything and I see the likes coming in, I'm like, oh God, I'm out for dinner with family. I'm like, oh God, Jesus. And guys like, put down your phone. I'm going, and I hate that, because it takes me away from myself, and then I'm just thinking about me and how I look and how people perceive me, and I don't want to feel that way.
And in terms of the kind of the effect that it has on people, social media is potentially very damaging to some people as well, because it's got the ability to get in under your radar and to kind of appeal to your kind of most basic instincts, or basis instincts. Like you talk about the kind of narcissism of a photograph taken, a selfie taken, or whatever when you're out and you're supposed to be socializing and so on, and all of a sudden it becomes about how you look in this particular thing. But also in terms of comments and the kind of freewheeling comments that people make. When people say something that's kind of unpleasant, it really gets in underneath you very, very quickly. It gets you get behind your defences.
No matter what people say, oh no, I'm grand, that's just the way it is. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. It does, and you're going to concentrate on the negative comment. It's like being an actor. When you get a good review or a bad review. Now, I remember an old teacher saying you can't look at the good reviews. If Emer O'Kelly says something that you're amazing, that you're fantastic.
That would be unusual.
Wouldn't it? But if you're going to look at that and listen to it, then you have to take on the bad reviews as well. So you're better off just not engaging, So you would kind of give social media, your advice would be to kind of not take it very seriously. Just not take it seriously, which is so difficult because you're going to anyway, So what do you do? And I know it's the most important tool at this moment in time for building your career, as you said, this is who I am, but for me, I am just not a fan. And I'm probably, in the minority, people who'd say that, because I know how important it is as well.